Hello everybody, welcome to a demonstration, an art demonstration by me, the first one. It's going to be charcoal, but it's an experiment. So the paper is nice and white and clean. I'm trying not to touch it. I'm using my pencil to give me a crude border. I've already cut the paper and torn it, so it's pretty much my standard procedure. The picture on the bottom left is one you've probably seen. There it is. It's a juniper tree. I think it's not on an Australian beach, and I'm going to create a wonderful version of this with charcoal. So let's have a look and see how it goes. The picture contains an horizon. This has to be level. There's no getting round it. So I've got my little rule. Yes, that's my head. Whoop, sorry. I've got my rule, and I'm going to measure up and make a very level horizon across the middle of my image. That's my starting point. I've guessed roughly where it goes. It's about there. Okay. So now I'm going to draw in some image, bit of beach, roughly. This doesn't have to be accurate. This just has to be my picture of a picture. Just a few details going in with the pencil first as my marker. Now I'm guessing where the tree shape goes. That's a rough estimate. There it goes. Try to keep my hands off the paper a bit. Don't want to smudge it, make it oily so that the charcoal doesn't take. I've already got a feeling that this is going wrong, but I'm going to bash on anyway. I'm sure it's going to be okay. There we go. Pencil indications. Okay. Pencil indications. I think we can jump to the next bit now. So that's most of the pencil marks made. Good idea to draw the pencil picture first. Gets your hand in, relaxes you, get familiar with the image. Pop in some odd details somewhere or another, wherever required. So now we're ready to get stuck into the charcoal. I've got three sizes of charcoal, small, medium and large. I'm going for the medium. Here we go, top left, being right-handed. Start filling in the foliage. The foliage on these trees is very spiky, so I'm not going to make circles. I'm going to make little jagged short lines, short strokes in different directions to show a spiky kind of foliage. And there are holes in the foliage where the light comes through. They're called sky holes in trees. Don't forget to leave a few. Try to keep the charcoal the same consistency, the same pressure as you draw all the time. If you do it lighter, you'll get a slightly lighter image. If you do it evenly, in an image like this, lots of evenness, you'll get a fairly consistent image. So try and practice the pressure, but don't press hard. Just stroke it on, just that it leaves a nice mark. That's all you really need to do. Study the way the tree works. There's a slight twist in this tree, in the trunks and in the bark, and it's nice to draw that in. The more accurate you are in the way that you show the detail all the time, the better. I always like to start as I want to finish. I don't want to do a rough and then go back in, particularly with a thing like charcoal, because it's messy. So I'm trying to finish the whole thing as I proceed. I want lots of detail, I want lots of rhythm, and I want a natural feel to it. So I'm trying to be realistic, but at the same time it's a painterly kind of movement, isn't it? Tree trunks always get smaller the further away from the ground they go. And I'm still studying my little picture just to make sure I'm on the right track. Don't lose track of what you're working from. Bit of filling in now with a lighter colour, and you might want to use your fingertip very gently just to do a little bit of smudgery. Got to look out that I don't want to put my hand on my picture. And keep charcoaling until your hand falls off. Get as much little touches of texture and shapes as you can. Don't try and make the tree shape up. It's got its own shape and you have to follow it. Otherwise there is no point in working from an image. It's coming along a bit now. Bigger charcoal. I'm going to fill in some of this foliage. Bit of expediency. Still be moving charcoal in the same kind of spiky manner. I don't want a fluffy circular leaf. I want a spiky leaf. There it goes, looking okay, it's getting filled in. This speeds the job up a bit, but don't forget to change back to small charcoal when you require it. Don't get lazy with it. Patience, keep going, and it's starting to take shape. Keep working at it. There's always a danger of getting a little bit impatient or even bored at this stage. But you want to keep your concentration and your interest in the piece too. It's worth the best effort you can make. Art's always good when it's challenging you and you have to make an effort to do it. I don't think anything easy is worth much. But there it is. It's coming on. It's getting a bit of shape. Checking my charcoal. I turn the charcoal as I work if I want a sharp edge. You sharpen as you go. A few twigs adds a little bit of realism to it. Well, it shows the image as it's shown itself. So I'm trying to reproduce this thing for better or for worse. Keep persevering. Keep pushing on. It's worth it. Now it's starting to take shape. Get a little bit of detail on the ground. Getting bored with foliage. Move away from it for 5 minutes and put in a little bit of finger touches there for a little bit of grey effect. Bit of softness. When you do soften something with your fingertip, or soften an area, quite often you can smudge a line that you want to be hard. So I'm just going back and re-establishing any lines which I may have touched, and I don't want them to be too soft. A few shadows coming across the ground from the tree. Charcoal is quite limited, that the longer you take with it, the more detail and effects you can achieve, but it's fairly limited, and generally it's either black, white or grey. Having a look at the background, putting the little island in the distance, on the horizon. There it goes, there you are, and there are some rocks over on the right hand side. Just a little line or two, very horizontal, very horizontal. Helps to show the way that the sea works. I'm trying to colour in a bit here now. The sea is darker than the sky. That's quite a difficult thing to do with charcoal to a degree, and I'm going downward, which is probably not the best approach. I'm trying to use the charcoal on its side. It's probably not the best thing to do, and I'm thinking about the fact that I might be regretting it already as I do it. But, well, there's always a way around these things. I've got to get some colour on, that's all. The sea has to be horizontal though. Got to keep that in mind. Just touching it in now just to soften it and even it up. Get that dark layer on. Got to near the edges of the tree. It's not looking too bad in places now. It's always a struggle to get the result you want. Re-establishing some edge lines after that fluffy treatment. People do like to use torchons and stubbies and cotton buds and things for these softening processes. I always find my fingertip works quite well, and it's just sort of always, fingers are always handy, aren't they? They're at the ends of your hands, so there they are, convenient. There's a little shrub going on at the background there. That's my head bouncing and putting more colour into the sea now with a horizontal stroke. Yeah, there it goes, building up. I've decided it has to be somewhat darker, so I've got to get it on now. Don't stick at it if it's not dark enough. Make it darker, don't think that'll do. It's a shame to stop short of the result that you can get. Take a good look at the image every few seconds and see what you're working with. There it goes. Filling in the sea. It's looking better now, there's more contrast. Sends the tree forwards better. Whole thing seems to work a little better now. And a little bit of spreading out. Again and again between the tree. There, a bit there, down there. It's not too bad. I'm not a genius with this medium, but they're all usable, aren't they? No need to be worried about any of them. You know, to keep it going. Right, we're getting somewhere now. Just putting some lines in the sea now, which only I can see. Just adds a little bit of texture and shape to it. A few speckles of rocks and stones on the beach. When you do put in little speckles of stones and things, don't spread them out evenly, group them into little bunches. It looks more natural. Okay, I think we're nearly there. Actually, the video did run out and it doesn't show me finishing it, so unfortunately it's the first attempt. These things happen. That's the finished item. and I was quite happy with that, really. I thought that did the job. It fills the paper. I went round my my margin with a little bit of charcoal too to strengthen it, and if I framed that, I'd probably just get myself a frame that was big enough for the paper, maybe slap onto a card as well, no mount card required, and that would do. That would be absolutely fine. So it's over. There it is. There's a better view of it. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not expecting you to do your own version of this at all, but it might distract you for 5 minutes or maybe a couple of months. Anyway, thanks for watching, as they say. Thank you for watching. See you again.